this or something. Well, good morning. You are joining Stephen Smith and special guest Tamara Hunter this morning, all the way from California. We got both coasts. This
Yes,
is
we do.
the Sunrise DayBreakers tribe. We appreciate you taking time to come and join us this morning. This is your opportunity to connect with nature, to connect with source, and connect with community. And that community is you. And we believe that you are watching these videos because you are trying to make a positive transformational change in your life today. And that's what we're here to serve up, is some great advice. Now, today we're talking about the present. Okay. Today is the present, and it's because it's a gift. I do believe that this moment is referred to as the present because it, in fact, is a gift. And it's called that because it's like a present, right? So we want to open that present today. We want to live in this conscious moment. I believe in the cliches, things like, live, love, laugh. There's no moment like right now. No time like the present to get things done, as well as live every moment like it's your last. So, in living in the conscious awareness moment of right here, right now, I'm just so very pleased that I have Tamara with us here. Tamara, why don't you take a minute and introduce yourself to the viewers?
Well, good morning, everyone. I am in my time to move out, not outfit, clothes, because I'm on the West Coast. I'd be outside, but it's a little dark out there right now, so I'm here in the studio. However, every morning I've been getting up at 5:30 to move, and a lot of it is my dear friend Stephen, his inspiration of getting up, getting going with the light of day, and I love it. I am the president and co-founder of a nonprofit, a 501c3 that believes in healing through connections within a buddies network, Chemo Buddies for Life. And main thing, we believe that supporting the patient and those that love and support them is the way to go. It doesn't matter what type of treatment. It was named because I'm one of the two original buddies. Yes, I'm a cancer survivor. I also am a host, and Stephen is one of my verified service heroes. He was recognized, and we have now recognized over 400 people throughout the world that are serving others and making a difference. And yes, in the present, giving those gifts of presence. And then also, I have the amazing group of leaders that are creating movements that I am right in the midst of doing things with, in particular through a group by the name of Speakers Pathway Coalition. They brought me in to help people to create movements. So that's a little bit of my my day. I do that for a couple
Awesome.
of hours a day, and then I find other things to do.
And we were just talking about how, when you have a nonprofit foundation and you've got a movement and you're trying to bring up the awareness of course, the present moment and dealing with people and the situations that they might be going through, it's a whole lot of work when we do it all of ourselves, because that's what we do. But we love it so much, and that's the reason why we're here. That's what, it's a little after 3 a.m. in the morning in Southern California, and I appreciate the fact that you're with us this morning. It's so awesome. I see that we have Carol with us this morning.
Yes.
She says to say hello. Hi, Carol. We really appreciate the viewers. Remember to share this video out with the friends and the groups that you belong to. This is all about a connection to nature. It's a connection to source and the community. And now I know that you've been out doing videos in the morning. You're doing some walks. And so that's so awesome. You're getting out into nature. How does that make you feel? How does that set the stage for your day there, Tamara?
I'm loving it. And I'm recognizing one of my coaches from the Next Impactor. That was one of the things I knew there was one more thing I needed to mention. I became the very first global Next Impactor. And one of my coaches, Vicky Amafalaji, is on right now. And Carol, I want to recognize she is one of our leaders. And getting out in in nature. It's really interesting. I was having this discussion yesterday because I've been noticing that, first of all, I live in a beautiful area of Southern California. It's known as the Southern Napa Valley wine country. And I'm on the northern end,
Oh,
so there's a lot of vineyards and open land, that's to kind of the southeast of me. And every morning they launch hot air balloons because it's a part of that area. They launch them to go over the vineyards, and then we have a lake that's over to my east. And so as I'm out walking, I walk a hill. I start off, and it gets me, right, and at the top of the hill, thank goodness, I have bunnies that've been showing up. And someone was bringing up that the bunnies are a sign, that a good sign, and
yes, I saw that.
and I really gave that a lot of thought. And so then, as the sun is starting to rise over the hills to the east, where the lake is, I then am going around, and then I will go and I spy to see how many of the balloons are launching, which is a really big deal right now because we didn't have a lot of launches going on when they closed down everything. And so when the balloons started launching up, it's almost like just a verification that there is something happening out there. There is good. Yet we decided with the time to move, it's not just time to move our bodies, it's time to get unstuck, Stephen, and
Yes.
yes, get back to nature, get back to enjoying seeing the sunrise and what that possibility, that gift is of the sun rising and us being alive to witness it. Because again, I look at life every single day truly as a present, and so many of my buddies do too, because we know what it's like to hear 3 words no one wants to hear, and too many do. You have cancer, and then to live through it, survive through it, and help others now to be thriving through it and connecting, healing through connections, and
Yes.
healing through nature. So important. And so I look forward to it every single day. And we've been having fun. We've been talking about finding our superpower. What's your superpower, Stephen? It's
We talked about that just the other day. As a matter of fact, interesting that you might bring that up. And I think that my superpower really is empowerment, not only of myself and then of others. I have the ability to be able to share. And so I feel like empowerment is because I was so disempowered for so many years and just conforming to what I was supposed to be expected to do, right? And it's like, hey, look, there's a purpose for you. And so that's why I'm pleased that I found that purpose.
good, good. I'm so excited because, I have
Yeah.
seen so many that are now going live in the morning. Like Carol, she goes live now. Sherry, so many have been going live. We even had one, and, won't go into all of them, because I don't
Right.
know that all of them are going live in the public. However, they are going live in one way or another to then keep this movement going, and that's what it's all about, that domino effect. And that's what you are, Stephen. You're a domino effect to get out there and say, okay, I am empowering you. I am giving you the torch to go out and make a difference. And then the next one does, and the next one does. And then that's how that movement and that message gets out there. And you are doing it every morning with beautiful. I mean, I love it too. Whenever you go on anywhere, you are always representing your area in such a great way too. This is Stephen from Sarasota, Florida.
I love Sarasota. I am blessed to be here. I don't get out and around as much and do like off location. I tend to just be around the house here a lot, but it's so beautiful here. And, nature played a big role in my healing and overcoming my situation of homelessness based on some choices that I made. And I just enjoy life anymore. And part of it is getting out into nature I love the bunnies, by the way. They're so awesome. They've got a name too, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Susie. Thank you, Helene. Helene, one of my buddies, and she comes on, and I'm able to say, she is our first ambassador of the chat, is what we call her, and she earned that title, and she is always having fun. We're always looking for a purple pin or a this or a that. And then when I went live in the very beginning, when because now it's almost a whole month that I've been doing this every day, and so I noticed these bunnies right off the bat. So I like flipped the camera, and she's like, "That's Susie." And then I'm like, "Okay, what are the other names?" She goes, "No, they're all Susie." So now we're always in the beginning of the day. We're always on the Susie hunt, and they've been. I mean, it's like they're multiplying. They're showing up that many more, and to a point where they'll stop right in front of me. I mean, seriously, I'm walking,
Yes.
and they're right there. So then I'm like, okay, guys, there's another one, and
Awesome.
I love the little ones, but they have little cottontails, and
Yeah.
and they're showing up in abundance, and what I was being shared, it was being shared, and since we are sharing this out, I'm thinking that it's for us all, and I started with, make your bed and why, Admiral McCraven, who gave the a commencement address at University of Texas, Austin, I believe. And he talked about, you want to change the world, make your bed. And so we started there. And so we do bed check in the morning. Who made their bed? And then we went into the superpower. Okay, what can we do right now during this period of time? We can have power within, and we can move forward, even if we can't move outside of our house. Whatever the restrictions are, wherever you are in the world right now, we have that power within to make a difference. So we can make our bed. That's going to help change the world, believe it or not. It's and there's logic behind it. And then, what's our superpower? What's our kryptonite? What's our theme song? I listen to mine every morning now before I go walking. And when that first chord hits, boy, I'm like, power pose, ready, let's do this. And that empowerment, like you're sharing, that gift of the morning and day sets us in such a way that it's like, how can you not find that motivation, that inspiration, that ability to go forward in whatever you feel your dreams are? And there are so many that have been coming in. I mean, we've got a pretty big group that shows up, and so many of them now are actually changing things up. They are following their dreams. They're doing and they're now becoming more than a dream. They are actually becoming an action plan, and we're working through that. And that is what is so exciting about this period of time. We can, every time in life's history gives us an opportunity to choose a gift, a present. In the present, we can choose which way we want to go, what path we want to go on, and to impact. Yeah, I'm going to use that word because I'm the first global next impactor. Might as well, to impact ourselves and others. And that's exactly what you're doing. And as I'm looking at the beauty behind you, Stephen, the gorgeous morning that you are being gifted, that it is striking to me to think that we have such a beautiful planet that we live on.
We do. We live in a beautiful place, and I just got to go back for a half a second on the bunny thing, because I occasionally go here to the celery fields. It's the highest spot in Florida. It's only like 45 feet until you get to northern Florida. But I remember doing a broadcast, and it's totally pitch dark, and I think I had the flash going, so I'm totally pretty much blinded, right? I can't see anything. And the next thing I know, I felt something brushing up against me, and I jumped. It's on live video. It's like, and I realized, and I saw that it was a little bunny. He came right up and brushed against me. And I think you made a good point, though. As you connect to nature, nature connects back to you.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why they show up,
Yeah.
because they know, they can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and it was brought up by someone out of Utah that bunnies represent abundance. And I'm thinking, yeah, they do, because they keep abundantly showing up. There's more and more and more every day. Everywhere I turn, I'm like, I gotta watch it, because they're darting in front of me and then stopping. Like, okay,
Right.
I'm here. But that abundance, that is something that along with looking at the launching of the balloons and some of these indications that we can believe what we want to believe in. I have chosen to believe that the present is truly a gift, and that nature is abundantly, clearly agreeing that there's abundance out there. And then, something that's maybe man-made, however, is using the nature, the floating up with the heat and the air and making that balloon, that basket, go up in the air, and the beauty of that, the majesticness of watching those things fly up, and then float across, and you see them floating across and meeting the sunrise, and you're seeing the mountain, the silhouette of the mountain. That is absolutely an awe-striking moment in the morning. And to have that gift, there's no way that you can look at that and say, the world is, okay.
Right.
But we have that power to do something with it. Yeah.
We do, and that's living in the moment. That's living in those experiences that we have right now. It is so important, because part of the thing that I like to share is, it's about thought. Everything is about thought. It's about perception, and about how we, and it's based all on the subconscious. These tapes that we've got in our subconscious, but it's releasing that negative stuff and replacing it with the positive stuff. And so it's a matter of, where are your thoughts dwelling? If your thoughts are dwelling as, oh, this is such a terrible situation, I can't go out. But I think everybody is allowed to at least go out to their front yard, and walk around the house, and certainly maybe walk down the street. I'm not sure that there's any real holdbacks on that stuff. Maybe the park's closed, but you can take a walk just like you are.
Yeah, I did notice, sorry to step on your words, I did read some of the areas, and I think it was something that possibly Vicky Omofolaji posted, because she's in Australia, Dr. Omofolaji, and I think that what I read from a post of hers was that there's a restriction of time, not and how far away from your residence you can go. So like if you are going outside, I think that there's a restriction of how long you're allowed to be out in the outdoors at one time. So and if I'm wrong, forgive me, but I'm recalling that. And I want to acknowledge Carol's Mr. Stinky showed up for her.
Okay. That's her little, she's got a skunk friend, does she?
Yeah. She was talking about the bunny, the Susies, because we visited about Susies, and then she's like, oh yeah, but then I had a Mr. Stinky show up, and had a stripe on.
It's awesome. It's really healing. We want to suggest to everybody that, get out into nature. Don't let this COVID thing, by the way, sunlight is one of the things that you need to help yourself boost your immune system, because it creates vitamin D within your body. So that's helping you with the COVID. So I don't know why we would want to stay inside under fluorescent lights. Let's get outside. Let's enjoy life. And enjoy every moment. And I was kind of talking about the thoughts and what we dwell upon. I wanted to mention that, like you said, Tamara, you said every day's a new day. We have the opportunity to paint the canvas of this painting any way we choose. So it is up to us. And so when you start with gratitude, that immediately creates that happiness. And then you go take a walk, and I don't know really anybody other than, okay, well, yeah, it's hot. Yeah, it's humid. Yeah, I'm sitting here sweating because it's, gosh knows, probably 80 degrees out here already. but it doesn't matter. You know,
Uh-huh.
you can either look at it bad or you can look at it, I can walk around, you know,
Yeah.
because some people can't just walk
Right.
around. So we work within what our things situation is, and right now is really the only thing we got. We got this
Mhm.
minute. We want to make the most of it, because if we squander this time, it's gone. There's no getting it back, and tomorrow is not promised. So let's make the most of today. Absolutely, 100%. I, I really appreciate the fact that you're coming out here, that you're joining me. I think it's so awesome that you're in California. Still early out there. Sun's coming up out here. I do want to remind everybody that I'm blessed to know Tamara, because I ran across her as a result of the Next Impactor last year, and she was the number one top Next Impactor for the world. And she's making a difference. And her organization is Chemo Buddies for Life. I'm a volunteer with them. I support them. I help them. They need your support as well. Okay, so make sure that if you're watching this video, welcome replay viewers. By the way, make sure to share this video out. Make sure to tell your friends about that, because I support Chemo Buddies for Life. They support people who need support, living in that moment, helping people through a most difficult time, one of the most difficult times of their life. Now, I know that Breast Cancer Awareness Month is coming up. It's still a little bit of ways in
Yeah.
October. Tell us
Yeah.
about, you got some plans or something? What are you planning for that?
Well, that's a good question. We support all cancers. Breast cancer just happens to be the cancer that, if you will, started the whole Chemo Buddies for Life, because I am one of two original buddies that met each other in a chemotherapy room, because I did go traditional, but we do not raise funds for any type of research. We believe that you need to believe in whatever treatment you go for, traditional, alternative, adjunctive, and I just so happened to meet, and that's what started this whole thing. And so every month actually is a different cancers month. And
Oh,
so we haven't particularly focused just on one month. However, with that said, because of the fact that my cancer I am now recovered from breast cancer. It does not define me. I am now totally great, gotten a complete bill of health. And so we will do what we've done before, and that is educate, make sure that people are aware. I do go out. I'm always on some kind of radio, podcast, TV, whatever it may be.
hmm
Magazine. I'll probably write a special
hmm
article in regards to it too, because I am a
okay,
columnist within the Global Achievers magazine that Vicky Omafalaji is the CEO and founder of. And the thing that I really want people to understand all through the year, and I am the poster child of what not to do,
hmm
and that is, I waited because I had other things going on, health issues, and I was working through them and fixing them. And I waited to have my first mammogram until I was into my 50s. And some people, because of health history and family history, there is a whole movement to have your first mammogram at 40, and some even go younger, not older. And so to be on top of it can save lives. Seriously, it can save lives. And thank goodness I got through what I needed to get through. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do what everybody else does, and went to my doctor and got a huge list of all the maintenance kind of tests you need to take. And it just so happens that the mammogram could get me in like right away, and because they had a cancellation. I went over, thought nothing of it, and they're calling and saying, we need you back. And I'm like, why? I got other things to do. I got other ones to get. And they're like, no, you don't understand. We need you back like now. And that was the starting of the whole journey. Well, I had to wear my big girl pants and say, okay, whatever stage, I my bad. I should have been up on top of this. Thank goodness, in my case, we did find it. They thought the original testing was that it could have been worse than it was. I responded very well to treatment, and I'm doing great. And the bottom line here, and the good news is that most of the cancers out there now are not what they used to be. They don't have to define us. They don't have to kill us. Now, I won't say that it isn't happening, that they're gaining wings. We have buddies that do gain wings. However, we can, with what we know from science and what we know about our hearts and our brains and our souls, and including nature and all of these things, we can get through this, and we can actually, let's just say that we witness miracles all the time. And when you have a community that is like-minded and that really is doing things, it may sound simple, but humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a lot of love, well, there's frequency in all of that, guys. And healing energy is what we need to be able to get through anything. And we are seeing it. So we will, I will be out there as the poster child of what not to do, and then also have the community to back up people that need immediate love and connection, because there is power in that, and that superpower, if you will, that superpowers, that hero's journey that you can be on. You can be your own hero, and not let anybody's words define how many mornings you get to see the beautiful sunrise. Don't ever let someone's words define that, because you actually have much more power inside of you than you may even believe or know right now. And so if you or someone you know or love are experiencing this right now, and maybe especially with what's happening out there, feeling overwhelmed, come to with us, because I'll tell you, we're having a great time, and we have people that come, and then that things flip and shift and change, and they are now so empowered. They are inspiring others, and that is how we are going to change the way cancer is done throughout the world, one buddy at a time. It's exciting. It's exciting.
I'm almost at a loss for words. It's such a great organization. You're helping so many people. It's CB4L. I didn't put in the banner here. This is the first time I've done this morning broadcast on a
great
streaming.
job.
Well, it's the learning process. It is, just like you say, boy, if I can do it wrong, I certainly have done that well in the past. And if things happen, but the beauty is that I am figuring this out, the streaming platform. I kind of like it, and the ability to be able to have a guest on and not have to rely on the fact that maybe I didn't see the invite or it disappeared or whatever. So yes, we certainly appreciate everybody that takes time. I hope that you learn something here. It's all about getting up, is what we're talking. This is called a healthy routine. Get up, get up earlier. You get more done. You can watch the sun come up. You can see, is it Lucy? Did I have that right?
And Susie, you can see the Susies out there. And yes, Carol, cb4l.org.
Yes, there we go. Let's get that on up there.
And I will say this, and you can flip your screen, and so that it won't get your face in the way. We've been actually I'll have to, in our group, we've been teaching about the different platforms, because I've learned a few things about these things, and so I have to share with you a few ways to be able to manipulate it. But what I was
if I just flip the camera right now, what's going to happen? All of a sudden,
no, don't do anything.
Don't do it now.
You're good. You're good. And thank you for putting that up. And
you're welcome.
Good. The thing too, that when you start waking up earlier, then you'll start going to sleep possibly earlier too.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said. You were talking about the, the different, healthy, wealthy, and wise, and live, love, laugh, and all of those things. That early to bed, early to rise is actually something so. There's so much science actually behind that. It may sound simple, but there's so much more to it. And Christopher Kaysen, dear man, I love you. He's here. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, welcome, Christopher. And we do have to remember that Carol gets to enjoy the mornings too, and the nature with Mr. Stinky. We want to know, did Mr. Stinky show up this morning, Carol? All right. And we talked about Vicki. Yes. Now you're a contributor on that magazine. Can you remind us again about that magazine?
Yeah, it's Global Achievers Magazine, Global Achievers Magazine, and Vicki, Dr. Omofolaji, out of Australia. She's very LinkedIn throughout the world, and she highlights different achievers that have stories that people want to really resonate with, connect with. And if you are ever thinking that you want to take a message or business or make a difference throughout the world, that's what this platform's all about. And she's just started a Global Achievers Club, and she's got some kind of a contest going on right now. Yes, thank you, Carol. She's got some kind of a contest going on in regards to nominate who you believe is a global achiever to get the cover, to be on the cover of the magazine. And isn't that really cool? And
that is cool.
I love it. And she is a prolific writer. She writes so much, and she has a nonprofit herself. She's actually in the medical world, and does so much for the youth in Australia, and those to help to bring them up, help to heal from bullying and so many of the other issues that are plaguing our world. And so she has just got her thumb on the heartbeat and making a difference out there. And I respect her so much, and invited her actually to be on the Chemo Buddies for Life expanded board, and helping us with building out globally, because that is why I entered the Global Impactor competition and became the very first Global Next Impactor. And it was to be able to take that message to anywhere in the world. And so the digital magazine is definitely helping to take that message out there. And she just gave my column a name, and it's called Tamara's Corner. I love it.
Tamara's Corner. All right.
Corner. Yeah.
That's so awesome. So it's really interesting how things evolve, and like we've talked about. I mean, I've been doing these videos in the morning for, I think, about 2.5 years or something like that. And I am seeing more and more people actually out there in the sunrise at first thing in the morning. And that's why I wanted to have you on this morning, because of course I see you doing that. It's really awesome. And of course, well, yeah, that connects really. And Carol is doing it as well. And now that I figured out that I don't have to rely on Facebook to be able to do this and have a guest, we'll make sure, like I promised, like how many times since last Friday, that we'll have Carol on as well, because I want to. Maybe we can meet Mr. Stinky or something if she's out there. Something like that, you know?
Oh, that would be interesting. Smell-o-vision. You wonder if that's on that's coming someday.
Yeah. Well, that's really awesome, and we are moving forward here. This broadcast here, I plan to have this on. This will replay, as a matter of fact, for everybody. I'm going to put this on next Monday, actually, at 7 a.m. You can watch this on your Roku. You can watch this on your Fire Amazon TV. You can watch this I'm getting attacked by these mosquitoes. I try to keep them off, but
Ooh.
welcome to nature, right?
Well, yeah, we
Anyway,
talked about kryptonite. I'm allergic to
yeah.
mosquitoes and
Oh,
the sun. So the two
not.
things that you were
Oh,
talking about is like,
yeah.
that's
Oops.
why I get. But that's the message here is you can still get outside.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get outside still. I just have to know what my kryptonite is. That's going to take my
Exactly.
superpowers away, and I stay away from them. Right?
Yeah.
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 And I see Ruben is here
Yes,
with
Ruben
us.
Lowing, welcome. We appreciate you as well. I just love Ruben. He is actually just recently on my Get to Know broadcast. So I was telling you that next Monday you can watch this replay on Roku or Fire or Apple or Android TV. Download, if you've got a smart TV, download the E360 TV app. You can also watch this on our website. That'll give you the opportunity to go right to E360 as well as YouTube. We want to get this message out there. Hey, it's time to get up early, start with gratitude, get out into nature, watch the sun coming up, and set the stage for our day. And living in that moment, because you know what? It's just no fun. I know for personally, I hated every morning in the past. I could not stand it. It was like, oh my gosh, another day. It's all mindset, folks. It's all your mindset. And so the more you do it, the easier it gets. That's the beautiful part of it. It really
Absolutely.
is. I see that we've got a lot of viewers out there. If we don't happen to know your name, we appreciate you. If you want to get to know us, Tamara is right there on Facebook as well as I am. You can reach out to us, send us a direct message, put something in the comments, share this video out, and that's if you're watching on Facebook, right? And just know that if you're watching on the replay, we are so grateful that you're here. This morning we're talking about living in the moment because it really truly is all we have, and we call it the present because it's a gift. To me, I had to write it down, so I make sure I get this right. But when we exist in the awareness of the present moment, I believe that that's truly living. Okay, if we're living in the past or we're living in the future, that's projecting for future, and that's history for the past. I like to reminisce. I'm like everybody else. I do. I love the stories, I mean, that's fun to do that stuff. But even the painful stuff, you might have to go back and look at that. And you might have to look at where was the positive message in that, just like Tamara has done, and so many others that I know, people like Misty Lane, right? Looked at their past and go, oh my goodness, or I went through this situation and it changed. It changed because of mindset, changed because of routine. And so having a healthy routine is a super important part of enjoying your everyday life, because that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And I love what Christopher is saying right there is that already writing in the Grateful Journal, actually. And I will say that Christopher is such an inspiration too. And he's one of the top 5
Yes.
from the very first season. He came in the top 5. And we're going to have a podcast. He's going to reminisce here soon. He's got it already scheduled that he's having the top 5. It's actually 6 because there was a couple on the stage. So the top 6 from the very first season of the Next Impactor, the first season of the Global Next Impactor. And he's going to have a reunion, which I'm excited about, on his Through Autistic Eyes is his podcast. And amazing inspirational man that I just absolutely adore. And I want to bring it up in that we have, and I have it always here off to my side, the Celebration Journal. And I bring that up because when I was going through my cancer journey, and you're talking about the present. Well, at that moment in time, when I was going through the present, I had to really drill down into looking at what I was grateful for, because I was in my doctor said, if anything, I won the prize for the most side effects of my treatment. And so it was not an easy experience I'll be honest. However, what I believe it was that it was a gift. It really was. And I see it now 100% because I can then understand what others are going through within our community rather than just, oh yeah, no, I can, I get you. I understand you.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And so what, with the gratitude journal and with the celebration journal, and yes, I wrote celebration on here because celebrating the moment, the gift of the present. And then in it, it talks about what, if nothing else, like I got it down to a point where it was, I'm grateful I have a roof over my head, that I have a pillow, I have a bed to be in, that I have clean, safe water and a straw. It might be that. And when I started looking at all I had, and then I realized, oh my goodness, there are so many in the world that do not have a roof, that do not have a pillow, that do not have a bed, let alone water. And clean water is what they nearly do anything for, and a straw. I'm thinking, 5 for 5, I have so much more than anybody else. How can I feel sorry for myself? It really puts it all into perspective. And so I love that, being in the moment. I'm a geek for history. I love it. I study it. Yeah, it is history. And yes, we, that projecting into the future, I believe in having the vision of where you want to go and working towards it. Yet the present is where, when we're here and really fully intentional in the moment, that all else is going to be working through, and that's where miracles happen, guys.
Yes, you're so right. And I think it was meant to be in the moment that we even enjoy those difficult moments that we're experiencing, because if we can get ourselves to okay, yes, it's happening. Do I like it? Well, not maybe necessarily, but you know what? There's something here for me if we just look for it. And I know that as well, you said earlier, it's about that action plan you mentioned. Super important. I mean, the intention is a good thing.
Yeah.
But you have to back it up with a plan.
Oh, yeah. I am huge about implementation. I have whiteboards everywhere, guys. Literally 3 walls of them, and they're stacked 2 deep, the big ones. And because one of the things that you need to be aware of, thank you, Ruben. I love it. I'll go there. Definitely. Anybody knows me, I will. And reason that I have so many now is because we need to be real about the moment too. And after having, because I did choose chemotherapy, that was my choice at the time for what I knew, and I now we are in a new normal state. Any of us have been through that, and so I do have a little bit of the chemo fog situation. People ask if it's real. It is. It is scientifically. It's a real deal. But however, I'm throwing away the buts. However, there are workarounds, and so I work around it, and I chart stuff out. I plan for it. I have multiple things I'm doing, and then it's a matter of chunking, and it is the activity, because as they say, if you want to go into the sayings, you if you're not planning or failing, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And there is absolute truth in that. And so I really do believe in setting. I was a Franklin Planner person way back in the day, and Morgan Planner when I was a recruiter, and I always believed in chunking time and completing task, or at least chunking that time, getting to a certain point, and then being disciplined to say, okay, now I have to go to this, and if I don't, then I'm not going to get that forward momentum. And I believe in teams, and you know that more than many, Stephen, because you've been a part of it. You've been there, and I truly believe that without a doubt that that like people gather, that frequency, they say like for like, or that you attract that
Hmm.
attraction. And when you have a cause, a movement, something, it will attract others that are in that same space and frequency, and together you have to find a way to win together, that activity
Hmm.
together. And I also believe and that when you have teams that are showing up, being a servant leader, making sure that anybody working with you is going to be better than that. Find out what it is that is going to serve them so that they learn. Like with this platform, we need to get you feeling good about it. That's why we do classes and such. And we're teaching those within our organization that want to be in charge of a chat or a show or something
Hmm.
with the different apps. Because if we can empower, like you do, empower others to find their genius, their superhuman power, to then go on their own hero's journey, then think of what we are going to be doing with impacting the world. That's the whole idea of the impactor, is that each one of us is really truly an impactor. And it's that one we need to always, we are a global family. Yet if we don't concentrate on the one, we've lost the mark. We've lost the ball. We've lost our way. It is about the one, and then each one becoming their better self, to then go out and then feel empowered to do more, and then keep going. And and as they say, then fly. They
Hmm.
need to be able to fly. In fact, Service Heroes new logo has wings on it, not by accident. We need to fly and soar higher and inspire others, and not be confined at all. We, those that are flying, you can see, you know you can see forever, as they say. And there's no limits except for what we decide to give ourselves. And so
Right.
action is what makes happen. And if you're not real, that's that whole movement thing.
Hmm.
Baby steps, we've been using that. I love movies. I'm a big movieaholic. And so that What About Bob, and I love it when Bill Murray is wearing a mason jar with a goldfish in it. You talk about nature. Okay, he's carrying nature
Hmm.
on a necklace, a mason jar with a goldfish, and because that's his pet. And he's taking baby steps. He's getting out of his comfort zone, and he's making a difference. And he stumbles into making a huge difference. It's a great little analogy to that anything and everything is possible if you believe, and then you do. You must do. Many people forget that do part and expect others to do it. Excellent, Ruben.
I love it, Ruben. Thank you. Yes. I think we're all fans of Tamara. I
Oh,
tell
thank
you, that is powerful, Tamara. I'm getting chills. It's just thinking about it. I mean, I just want to share a quick story here, because last year, that's when I really got seriously involved in helping you in volunteering for fundraising on Giving Tuesday. And I had no idea what that was going to bring for me, because what happened was is that I thought, well, I've lost family because of it. But the thing about it was is that I had no idea that literally the day that I went and helped out, we were going live from multiple places all over the world. It was so awesome. Christopher Kaysen was with us. Carol was with us as well. We literally were in 4 points in the globe at one moment there at about 6 o'clock last year, and it was just spectacular. But my point is that I lost a dear friend that day. 2 days before, I went and saw him, and I had to pay really my last respects. And it's like all of a sudden, I had to deal with being a friend of a person that was going through this, and then they passed on, and it's like, wow. So what happened for me is that I learned and I grew, and I had a support network that was there, and
Mhm.
and there's a private group on Facebook, and every day you're doing something different, and that's so powerful. So people that if you're suffering, either as a family or a friend, or as a patient,
Mhm.
um, this is a great support network. Why don't you tell them whether they can reach out on that, or maybe we can even get Carol to put that up there, put it in a comment for us, and then I'll post it up on here. Tell us, because you have a Facebook group and you're
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
daily
we do.
broadcasts.
Yeah, we do. We have a page, Chemo Buddies, for Life is the what we do. We have it on Facebook, Chemo Buddies, the number 4 Life, and
Hmm.
our legal name is Chemo Buddies, and then you spell out 4. But it's fun. You
Hmm.
gotta have fun, guys. We do have fun, and that's what this is all about. And we're unlike the others because we do concentrate on the fun, and yet we're real. We really are real, and we look at it square in the eye. And so what we have is that Chemo Buddies for Life has a group. You can have groups on Facebook. We created a group just right after the Giving Tuesday event, of which we were 36 hours live back to back. And yes, you
Yes.
were live for 4 hours, and we had that
Hmm.
amazing sunrise sunset situation, and we were in 4 different countries, three different countries at the time across the world, and international. It was incredible. And so we have a
Hmm.
group. It's called the community. So it's Chemo Buddies for Life Community, and you have to join. Yes, thank you. You have to join, and we have 2 requirements, and that is that what takes place there stays there, unless it is something that we can share out publicly, but it will not include anybody's names that are not on the public side, letting people know that they are actively involved with us. And it does not include any of the sensitive information that we do discuss in there. And the second thing is that we keep it a safe place. And both Carol and Christopher are leaders of the chat. And what we don't call it a show, because it is not. It is a chat. It is designed to bring the community together so that we can all have a voice. And it is modeled after my original buddy and I, because like I said before, I won the prize. Yes, for the
Yes, you
most
did.
side effects. And one of them was that I lost my voice when I went through treatment. I had horrible chemo sores on my vocal cords, and so
Mm.
I could only type. So you see, that was part of the whole inspiration of knowing that typing really gives
Hmm.
us the ability to be able to share. And so what we do is we chat, and we have hosts of the chat, so they are on. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. We are so inspired by it every single day. We have such an amazing it is a different energy and love than you maybe experienced anywhere. You want to ever experience what agape love feels like, I'll tell you, that's where you find it. And what happens is that we'll have a topic, like tonight is Travel Tuesday, then we have What's Up Wednesday, and then Thankful Thursday, of which Carol is one of the 2 leaders of the chat, she and Sherry McQueen. Then we have TGIF Friday, and that is now becoming our party night. And we have buddies actually come on camera, and Jason Cisneros, the Bald Avenger, is going to come in this next Friday, and he's going to be there to party with us and have fun. Then we have Success Saturday. Barbara Beckley leads that. We have then Game Night, of which Christopher is one of the 2 co-hosts for Game Night, Family Night. You gotta have it. And then we have Magic Monday, which we experienced last night. And so every single night, it's a different feel. And what happens is that we come prepared for something, but if someone comes in to the chat and needs us, all buddies on deck. All buddies on deck. We stop whatever the chat is. We get off topic. We rally around and share the love, and work it through. It's not that we don't face it. It's just we don't let it define us, and the power has been kicked to the curb and gone. It's out of there. We do not give cancer power. We don't have to. There's no rule book saying we have to. We have allowed that to happen, and we have taken that away. We stripped the power away. No superpower, human power for you. Not a hero. No. And so it's out of here, and we are attaching ourselves we are healing through connections, and that's threefold. Connection with ourselves. We got to be connected with ourselves. We got to find that love and connection. And then connection with a buddy or buddies. That's actual people, buddies. And then connection within the community and the family. And we've now opened our doors. When COVID hit, we did open ourselves, because the whole idea here is that we are helping to ease the suffering of isolation, because too many are isolated, especially if you're going through treatment, and even double dipping it now because of what's happening with COVID, that if you are in treatment, your immunities are down. So we don't want you out. But our brains, you talked about the subconscious, we all know now that we won't remember, Stephen, someday. Our brain is not going to remember. Were we in the same room? Was that conversation in the same room? Or was it that we were looking at each other with our eyes through this medium, and our brains are accepting it as that connection? And so the power that we have through the internet, sky's the limits, guys. Action, yes. And we are having a chat every day. So if you want to come join us, we talk about it. Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a lot of love. You know, be prepared. And we laugh. We ask each other, have you had your daily dose of laughter? And then we also take 30 seconds and we honor those that have given the ultimate sacrifice, that have gained their wings, that are on the front lines right now, and protecting us. We give that kind of honor also within the organization. And there's such a power to that silence and that time of true love being shared.
It's a wonderful organization. I really enjoy being a part of it. I suggest everybody do that. We are out of time, so I want to say thank you to Tamara. I want to say thank you to all of the viewers, whether you're watching live or you're watching this replay. Come and join us again. I do this every morning at about 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We connect to nature, community, as well as source. And I'm liking having guests on in the morning. I think that's really awesome. I'm blessed. Thank you very much, Tamara. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Yes, we'll be back tomorrow morning. Remember to share this video out. Join us tomorrow evening. We're talking about your health. Tomorrow is Health and Wellness Wednesday. Join us with Ask Dr. Jenny. We're talking about sleep.
Oh, very important. Yeah.
And how it's important to our health. Okay, so join us then, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day, everybody.